5 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
Right now, local schools are one step closer to a teacher walkout.
We've been monitoring social media all evening as Oklahoma educators unite for a common cause. Now, in just the last few hours, the Oklahoma Education Association gave state lawmakers a deadline to fund pay raises and education needs. I pulled up the Facebook announcement. You can see it right there. Now let's go live to the Oklahoma Education Association building. This is in Northeast Oklahoma City. OEA says schools will shut down if lawmakers don't find a solution to the funding crisis by April 23rd. But that may be changing. Momentum for a walkout has been building as more and more teachers are expressing their frustration with the lack of action from state lawmakers. Fox News 5's Carolyn Vandergrift joins us now live right here in the studio with reaction from teachers about this OEA deadline. Carolyn.
Yeah, Mike, as you mentioned, that Facebook post making that April 23rd announcement was just taken down a minute ago and replaced with this. We hear you. We're putting together more information for you about the strategic reasoning of proposed school closure dates. We all have the same goal: pay raises for education employees and fully funded education. Now, this comes after hundreds of teachers commented on that original post. They were frustrated. They weren't included in the conversation. They say they need change from lawmakers right now.
We should value education.
Deep cuts to school funding have left cash-strapped teachers struggling.
We might have supplies, we might get what we need. I spend a lot of my own money that I don't have on our classroom, and our kids are being affected by it each year.
Oklahoma teachers are some of the lowest paid in the country.
If I didn't have financial help from my mother and my stepfather, I couldn't make it, because they help me with the extras that I need, like buying my daughter shoes or whatever she needs.
State lawmakers have failed time and time again to pass legislation for meaningful teacher raises.
That's what got us all extremely frustrated after time and time again being disappointed and getting our hopes up and then being disappointed again.
Now teachers are willing to walk out of their classrooms if lawmakers refuse to act. Many superintendents across the state support their teachers, but hope it doesn't come to that.
Hope is not enough, though. We need solutions. And, we're coming to the table with ideas. We are willing to work arm in arm to try to identify long-term solutions that benefit this state.
And the Oklahoma Education Association says lawmakers have until April 23rd to take action. Teachers and superintendents are hopeful the mounting pressure will force lawmakers to push forward a solution in the coming weeks. If not, teachers say they're committed to walk out and stay out as long as it takes to create change. Mike?
Caroline, thank you. Here's something that has not changed. Oklahoma City teachers are planning a rally. It's going to happen at the Capitol on March 15th at 9 a.m. OKCPS schools will be on spring break at that time. Now, Wendy, we did hear from multiple district superintendents today about this very issue.
Yeah, many of them supporting their teachers. Several of them met today to compare plans. There are some districts that have still not produced a resolution in support of a walkout. However, every superintendent we spoke with agreed that one is inevitable if some sort of action is not immediately taken by the legislature.
Teachers are frustrated and angry, and I can't blame them a bit. They've had this carrot dangled in front of them for 3 or 5 years, with 779 failing, with the A+ plan failing, with Step Up failing. I mean, we have struck out in the state at that point.
Edmond School Superintendent Brett Town says his district will need 300 new teachers next year. He says he and other superintendents worry about whether a walkout will actually influence legislators.
The sound of success after a 9-day teacher strike in West Virginia ends. You heard those cheers and applause from senators and teachers in Senate chamber today. West Virginia lawmakers reached a deal to give a 5% pay raise to all state employees, including striking teachers and school staff. Now, I pulled up the governor's Twitter page where he said this just hours ago. I've long said education should be our centerpiece, and today we were able to showcase that commitment to everyone watching across the nation. We've got your back, staying on top of possible teacher walkouts here in our state. We're going to send you any breaking updates as soon as we get them. right to your phone. Just download that Fox 25 app.
Happening right now, the results are pouring in Texas from their primary election, and this is a historic one. You are looking live now at Democratic governor candidate Lupe Valdez's watch party there at his headquarters. Let's take a brief listen in.
And we've got some good support behind us here, Senator. Thank you all.
Is this my mark? Yeah, you said it. I mean, can I turn it off? Is Commissioner Teresa Daniels still here? Yes.
Now, right now, Valdez is winning that particular election. Texas voters, for the first time in 25 years, could be voting for Democrats running in all 36 congressional districts in Texas, meaning the Texas race is not guaranteed Republican. Democrats had the edge in the early voting. Now, the polls just closed a few minutes ago at 9 o'clock. I have the results up here live for you that we are tracking. Beto O'Rourke has won the Democratic primary with 62% of the vote. Ted Cruz with 84.7% for the Republican primary. Here for Governor Lupe Valdez, we just showed you his headquarters. He is ahead right now. Greg Abbott, the clear winner for the Republican primary for governor with just over 90% of the vote. Now, of course, we will continue tracking these election results for you right here at the live desk.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. In just the last few hours, firefighters putting out a trailer home fire in far southwest Oklahoma City. Firefighters say rounds of ammunition going off inside the trailer prevented them from going inside to search for anyone. We're working to find out if anyone was hurt.
Good evening, everyone. That Oklahoma wind was ridiculous today. It did create extreme wildfire danger, and we had wind gusts over 40 and 50 miles an hour. The winds were the strongest up here near the Kansas border, but since the sun has gone down, the winds have slowed down and slacked off a lot this evening. Right now, gusting between 15 and 25 miles an hour, and they will keep on slowing down tonight. But man, that wildfire danger was extreme today. It created a lot of wildfires. One of the biggest ones here was in South Woods County, just south of Waynoka, and that fire created a smoke plume that was nearly 100 miles long, and it stretched all the way into the Oklahoma City metro area. So right around sunset, Oklahoma City was smoky in spots, but now everything is cleared out nicely. We're heading down to 28 degrees tonight, a big chill under mainly clear skies, and it will be a much cooler and calmer Wednesday, I promise. The next big wildfire threat, we will talk about that. Your weekend thunderstorm chances, where, when, any severe risk coming up in your Storm Watch 7-day in just a few minutes.
Jeff, thank you. A bill in the works would allow you to stand your ground at church. The Oklahoma House passed a bill today that would allow the use of deadly force at places of worship. Now, it could be used against an intruder. The law already includes homes and businesses, and the law says if you're being attacked, you have the right to stand your ground with a gun. The bill says a place of worship can be classified as any place used for services. That bill now goes to the Senate for debate. Also today, Governor Fallin issued an executive order to develop a work requirement for people on Medicaid. This is a live look at her Twitter page. The order directs the Health Care Authority to file waivers and amendments in the next 6 months. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule, like being over the age of 64, being certified as physically or mentally unfit, and a parent who is the sole caretaker of a child under 6.
Tonight in Spencer, an investigation underway. You are looking live right now at Spencer City Hall. Leaders there trying to figure out their next steps after a bad report from an auditor. She told the city council the books are in too bad of a shape for her to keep working. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero talked with city leaders about the issue and what they are doing to move forward. She is live in Spencer. Jordan?
We're live to City Hall. We talked to the interim city manager who says the auditor's report was worse than expected. But we also talked to people who live in Spencer who say they were not surprised.
It's worse than we expected.
The city of Spencer hears a bad report from an independent auditor hired to do the routine check of the 2016-2017 budget. The auditor presented her findings to Spencer City Council Monday night, saying she couldn't even get far because the data was not documented correctly.
It's not an auditor's job to go in and straighten this one out.
Interim City Manager Kenneth Sloan says now the city has to decide if they'll bring in an accountant to figure things out or have the auditor render an opinion on her work so far.
There's not any evidence to show that there's any wrongdoing at this time, and hopefully there won't be, but we've got to get to point A in order to get to point B.
I knew it was going to be bad.
Spencer resident Dwight Titus says he wasn't surprised by the auditor's report. He's growing frustrated with City Hall.
I would love to see things change, but it's not going to until we get rid of everybody in the City Hall. I'm talking about all of them.
The auditor says she's found another issue.
And another thing I would like to emphasize, especially emphasize, and possibly you're already very much aware of this, but that you've got a very serious financial situation here.
She says for the next several years, the city should not spend money on anything that's not absolutely necessary.
We're doing the best that we can. It's going to take some time to try to get the mess cleaned up.
Sloan says the city is tightening its belt to make sure it's not spending any extra money because the city is not bringing enough cash, but he says they're working to make do. Wendy.
Jordan, thank you. There is a history of audit issues in Spencer. The state auditor called a 2011-2012 report that he ran for the city one of the worst he had ever seen. The Oklahoma County DA charged 3 people with embezzlement after that case.
We've got your back with new information about the I-235 construction project that could affect your weekend plans. This is a live look at the interstate right now. This is near 36th, right near that major work zone. Well, the final full closure of I-235 now pushed back several weeks. The closure originally scheduled for this weekend will now take place in early April, but crews expect additional lane narrowing ahead of then. The closure is expected to be the 4th and final for the off-Broadway project. An exact date, though, has not been set.
Right now, police are looking into what caused a deadly 5-car crash today on I-44. The chain reaction crash happened in the eastbound lanes just past Newcastle. We do know 1 woman died, but we haven't yet learned her name. The highway was shut down for hours, but it is back open tonight. New details just into our newsroom. 2 people have been arrested after a shooting in Edmond. That victim, though, still in the hospital tonight. That person is expected to survive. Edmond police tell Fox 25 the victim called 911 overnight after being shot multiple times. This happened near Kelly and 15th. Police say a homeowner took their dog out to go to the restroom and noticed a man in the backyard. Both suspects are facing shooting with intent to kill charges.
And let's go live now to Washington, where tariff talks are heating up. What you're looking at is, of course, the White House and what's going on right now. The president answered questions today during a joint press conference with Sweden's prime minister. This as Republicans proposed another solution for cracking down on trade abuse and urging the president not to impose international tariffs. Some experts say the tariffs proposed by President Trump could cause an increase in commodity prices in the U.S. A report by Goldman Sachs says a steel tariff could cost Ford and General Motors $1 billion each. Stephen Armstrong, Ford's president for Europe, spoke on the issue today.
We want to make sure that we're able to trade across borders as we do today, and so I'm hopeful that at the end, when all the discussion is over, that we won't face incremental burden on the business as we move forward.
House Speaker Paul Ryan also urged the president today against the tariffs and use other options to avoid what he's calling collateral damage. Your grocery shopping done with a click of a mouse. Fox 25's got your back with which grocery delivery apps offer you the best choices at the best price.
And big developments out of North Korea today. What was said in a meeting about the United States that could change global nuclear strategy. We've got your back with an event tomorrow. Oklahoma City Police hosting a meeting about active threats and workplace violence. The event is open to anyone who wants to attend. It's happening at the Bethlehem Star Baptist Church that's near Northeast 23rd and Bryant. It will start at 7 p.m. An Oregon man is suing both Walmart and Dick's Sporting Goods over their new gun sale policies. 20-year-old Tyler Watson claims both companies discriminated against him by each refusing to sell him a rifle. Now, we have a live look at that statement that Dick's released after the Parkland school shooting. Dick's and Walmart raised the age for gun sales to 21 in the wake of the shooting that left 17 dead on February 14th. The suspect reportedly bought the AR-15 used in the attack legally prompting retailers to act.
North Korea's Kim Jong-un now says he may be ready to talk with the United States, and that could mean the country is willing to end its nuclear program if security was guaranteed. This is according to a South Korean delegation returning from unprecedented meetings with Kim Jong-un. It came from the first in-person meeting between Seoul and the North Korean leader since he took power in 2011. This is a live look at the president's Twitter, where he says possible progress being made in talks with North Korea for the first time in many years. A serious effort is being made by all parties concerned. The world is watching and waiting, maybe false hope, but the U.S. is ready to go in hard in either direction. South Korean President Moon and Kim Jong-un will meet for a summit in the demilitarized zone in April.
Well, we told you at 5 that Norman police were searching for a 7-month-old child believed to be in imminent danger. Well, at this hour, still no sign of that child. You're looking there at a picture of 7-month-old Jody Minjarez, as well as his father, 31-year-old Victor Minjarez. Now, according to police, Victor violently attacked his 7-month-old son's mother, then fled with his son. Police say the 7-month-old is in imminent danger right now. Victor fled in a U-Haul pickup truck and is currently believed to be homeless or possibly staying in a motel, maybe with friends. He's 5'6" with black hair and brown eyes. If you see either of those two that we just showed you, the child or his father, you're asked to give Norman police a call immediately.
Happening in just the last hour, voters have picked a new representative for State House District 51. Republican Brad Bowles is the winner with 72% of the vote. Bowles is currently the mayor of Marlow, and his opponent, Charles Murdoch, is a retired educator. Republican Representative Scott Biggs stepped down to accept an appointment by President Trump as Farm Service Agency State Director.
We're learning new information here at 9 about a settlement between federal prosecutors and a Texas contractor who's accused of kickbacks with IMSA. This lawsuit claims the contractor and IMSA entered into a kickback scheme of $20 million. That money was to keep an ambulance contract and awarded by the IMSA director. Prosecutors now say the parties are finalizing documents for a settlement.
Emergency room visits for opioid overdoses are skyrocketing across the country. The CDC researchers found surprisingly large increases in overdose rates over the one-year study period. The Midwest was the hardest hit, with an overall 70% increase in overdose treatment rates. Increases were seen in both men and women and across all age groups. The team recommends broader access to the overdose prevention drug Narcan.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved direct-to-consumer genetic testing company 23andMe to inform people of breast cancer risk linked to 3 gene mutations. Now, this decision makes 23andMe the first company allowed to test for cancer risk without a doctor's prescription in the U.S. The test can report back on 3 mutations in genes that are the most common in Ashkenazi Jewish population. Those mutations are not the most common ones in the broader population, though. An FDA spokesman emphasized this test is not a substitute for seeing your doctor.
It's pretty controversial to me here. Sleeping with your socks on may help you fall asleep faster. Researchers say wearing socks to bed may help you regulate your core body temperature, which is a necessary part of the sleep cycle. Studies have shown adults who wore either normal or heated socks in bed fell asleep faster. I don't know about that. Nope.
I'm a sock man. All
Whatever
right.
works.
Coming up, Target changing how much it pays its employees. We've got you back with how much more money they will get.
And Bill Cosby back in court today, attempting to silence his accusers. What happened in a hearing that could change his upcoming trial?
And big goosebumps for the kids in the morning if they do not bundle up. Temperatures will be in the 20s to about 30, but highs are going to be in the 70s soon. And we have to talk about some weekend thunderstorms too, the timing and main threats in your Storm Watch 7-day at 9:33.
Bill Cosby in a Pennsylvania court today trying to stop some of his dozens of accusers from testifying. That hearing is part of a retrial on sexual assault charges. Cosby's first trial ended in a mistrial last June. He's accused of assaulting Andrea Constand without her consent while she was unconscious and using drugs to impair her ability to consent. The retrial is slated to begin April 2nd.
The Office of Special Counsel is accusing White House aide Kellyanne Conway of violating the Hatch Act. Now, that act is designed to stop certain members of the government from engaging in political activity, specifically those who do not have explicitly political roles. A new report released today says Conway mixed official government business with political views in 2 interviews last year. The agency says in the interviews, Conway advocated for and against candidates in the Alabama Senate race.
Target is raising its minimum wage again. The company said pay will increase this spring from a minimum of $11 an hour to $12 an hour. Shares of Target fell 5% in late trading today following that announcement. Investors are often concerned about the higher costs pay raises can bring. Target raised its minimum wage last September and promised to increase it to $15 an hour by 2020.
Spending an hour or maybe even 2 in a grocery store isn't for everyone. More grocery delivery apps are hitting the market. Fox 25 Consumer Watch has got your back with how this choice will benefit you.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
We're continuing to follow breaking news we first brought to you at the top of the show. Caroline Vandergrift told you that the Oklahoma Education Association has changed their social media post about their deadline for lawmakers to take action before the potential for a teacher walkout. They changed this for it to say this just 30 minutes ago. We hear you. We are putting together more information for you about the strategic reasoning of proposed school closure dates. We all have the same goal: pay raises for education employees and fully funded education. Now, this has already been shared 26 times, and we are seeing hundreds of comments, and not all of those are positive. Libra Williams says, "I'm leaving this association first thing in the morning. This makes no sense for the organization to make such a decision without the input from the people who pay them to protect us." You sold out OEA is what Lane had to say. So we are continuing to sift through a lot of these comments, and of course we will bring you the very latest right here at the live desk.
Maybe you don't have a car, you're unable to. A grocery store delivery app can help alleviate that issue.
Improvements in technology are saving people more than just time. Grocery delivery apps continue to grow in popularity.
Fox 25's Ray Garcia has got your back with some favorites and how to make sure you'll be happy with the quality of the food. It's tonight's Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
Maybe you're busy or injured or your car broke down. Grocery delivery apps can make a chore a lot easier to deal with. More companies are launching their own apps, and the choice is a benefit for you. From start to finish, a full-on grocery shopping trip is a commitment.
You're spending a long time trying to find that one obscure item for your dinner, or you're spending a long time waiting on lines. Grocery store shopping can take 1 to 2 hours.
Marianne Akinboyewa is a shopping expert with the Penny Hoarder. She says her top 2 favorite apps are Shipt and Instacart. With these apps, you can pick your products and they get picked up and delivered to you. Online grocery shopping can be more budget-friendly because you avoid temptation more easily.
You're going to want to stay on track because you can see the price and you can see things add up.
Using some grocery delivery apps will cost slightly more than going to the store yourself.
Oftentimes with grocery store delivery apps, you can't use coupons with them. In addition, the prices are going to be a little bit more expensive than what you'd get in store if you went shopping on your own.
Some of the apps will also charge membership or delivery fees. Stores like Buy for Less and Walmart do have online grocery shopping for free, but you would have to schedule a time to go pick up the items yourself. If you're not happy with the quality of meats or veggies that you received as a part of your order, say something. Akinboyewa says that she called the customer service line of a grocery delivery app she uses, and the company gave her credit to resolve the problem. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
For another look at these grocery delivery apps and to see which might work for you, you'll find this story on OKCFox.com.
Hope you're having a nice Tuesday, everyone. In spite of that crazy Oklahoma wind, luckily things are settling down this evening. But the reason why we were so darn windy today, our next weather maker, really not that far away. It's up here to the northeast in Missouri, and it is creating those strong winds. This is a very strong dynamic system. Now, 2 things. When this thing slides to the southeast, the winds will keep on slowing down tonight, which is a great thing. And the system will also shove this front into Oklahoma tonight. So for your Wednesday, it will be cooler and calmer, that's for sure. 20s to about 30 tonight, almost everyone below freezing, and teens, in the panhandle tonight. No thanks. But we do start off your Wednesday morning in Oklahoma City, sunny, about freezing, not too breezy. The wind's only going at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Nothing too crazy tomorrow. And temperatures between 9 and noon, mostly in the 30s and 40s, pushing 50 at lunchtime. Clear but very cool. And then tomorrow afternoon, somewhere in the low to mid 50s, low to no fire danger for the next couple days, which is also nice. It elevates a little bit on Friday into the high category, goes right back down as we start the weekend, picks up a little bit more on Sunday. So again, fire danger a concern the next 5 days, but not a big one, and nothing like the past couple days. Thursday, 65 degrees, so you do see that slow and steady warm up. Freezing, by the way, on Thursday morning again, but Friday, spring-like in the 70s in the afternoon. Another cold front comes in on Saturday. That will cause a chance of rain showers and thunderstorms. Your best possibility of any kind of stormy or severe weather will be over here in eastern Oklahoma, but watching this real closely here in central parts of the state on Saturday. A stray shower is possible, but a lot of dry time, and all the coolness behind the system really does not arrive until Sunday. And Sunday does cool off quite a bit, down into the 50s, morning lows a little on the chilly side, sunny to partly cloudy skies. So overall this weekend, not too shabby. It will be windy, of course, and then Monday and Tuesday cooling down a little bit more, but dry skies all the way. So really only one good